me.
Should I swipe?
Get over.
Hello, you guys. I just sent Leah all of the questions.
There's some good ones.
There's some juicy ones in here, and we're laughing because this is a little tell-all, isn't it? We'll start off with something just like easy. A simple, not complex question. Also, we're drinking matcha lattes. Delicious. Samantha asked, what is y'all's age gap? Y'all seem far apart, but such a good bond. We are 6 years apart, and we have 2 sisters in between us. So we have Vic and Marsh, and we're all like 2 years apart. So Marsha's directly under me, and then there's Vic, and then there's Leah. So she's the baby of the sister group. Is Leah going to move out someday? If yes, when?
I plan to always live with Morgan and Nathan.
No, in our next house, we're gonna build her like a mother-in-law
Yeah, I'm
suite.
getting like an attached little mother-in-law suite. So when I get married and
There
have
will be
kids,
like a little bridge to get to it.
I'll still be there. No, I'm kidding. I plan to move out when they move or a little before.
Which is
But
crazy.
I
because-
plan to always stay like near them, kind of. She can't get away from me.
No, and what's crazy is like Nathan gets out in less than a year, so we've been talking about our plans and like starting to make plans, which is really exciting because moving is so fun. I love moving. How do you balance who's responsible for what cleaning and grocery bill? So when Leah moved in, like my goal for her was to just teach her responsibility on like life itself, like paying bills and stuff. So when I moved in with my older sister, I paid her a small amount in rent, and then I worked a job. It's like a soft launch into being an adult. So I did the same thing with Leah. When she moved in, she pays a small amount in rent just so like she gets into the habit of like being a grown-up and paying bills. And I cover all of the groceries, and all the cleaning is my responsibility aside from the kitty litter box. Leah's responsible for the kitty litter box.
Which is
Leah has
I'm
to
in
be the
charge
cat
of
box.
cleaning the cat room and like any of my dishes or anything like that.
Yeah, anything that she like makes a mess with, she's responsible for cleaning. What's one thing you guys like living about each other?
I like having a whole nother closet.
Yeah, someone asked in here, do you guys share things? Do we share? Leah shares my stuff. She's always scrimmaging through my closet.
I am.
And she's lucky because we're the same size.
Yeah, I got really lucky with that one. I'm always coming to Morgan and just taking things, and I'm like, can I wear this?
I know, I was in her room last night and she was packing her bag for a trip she was coming up, and I was like, looks familiar. Your stuff looks familiar. That's so crazy. I have the same one. Mariah asked, do you ever get mad about the amount of trips Leah takes? We have not talked about this, so she has no idea what I'm gonna say. No, I don't. I definitely don't. I get sad when she's not here because I get lonely, but I also think that this is the time for Leah to explore and do as much fun stuff as she can. Like, as long as she's being responsible, when she books trips and goes into things that I can't do because I have babies, it just makes me happy for her because I'm glad she's able to do that and soak up this stage in life because it doesn't last long, you know? Do you ever feel like I'm mad that you take trips?
No, but I know you get like sad that I'm gone and like wish someone was here to help out and like.
I do get really sad because I also just hate being alone.
Yeah.
Like I've never loved being alone, which is why I loved when Leah moved in, because it wasn't even so much for the help of having someone else here. It was more so the mental company of like knowing she was here. And also like if anything ever happened to me, she would be here to like make sure the kids were okay. Mentally, it's hard when she leaves because I love having people around. Someone asked, do you miss each other a lot when Leah's traveling? I feel like we just kind of talked about that. I don't know. Do you miss me and the boys?
I do, actually. I do. If I'm gone for more than like 5 days, Morgan will like send me videos of the boys, and I'm like,
I know, they're
I'm
so
ready
cute.
to go back.
They're so cute.
And then whenever I get back, they'll see like my suitcases here or something, and in the morning they'll knock on my door and like run
They
in.
do. They're so polite. They knock, naughty.
Yeah. No, I definitely do miss them when I'm gone.
Somebody asked, what's the one thing you guys fight about, or do y'all fight anymore?
We get into stupid like catty little sister fights, but we've never been in like a serious like knockdown
Drag out. Like, no, we're pretty like just straightforward. Like if someone has an issue.
We're also like both very level-headed people, I feel. So like
yeah, we're really chill.
we get along.
I think we've had all of like 2 fights since Leah moved in, and I'll tell you about one of them later because It's actually really funny. But no, we don't really fight. I feel like if we're upset, someone just says something, or if I'm upset, it's usually because I'm overstimulated, and like Leah will like clean the kitchen or take the boys, and like all the problems go away. Sometimes I just need a second to breathe, and Leah's just not a morning person, so in the mornings I just don't share words with her. I don't talk to her till about noon. And if we keep things like that, everyone's happy. Do you feel like you need more privacy when she's around? Yeah, she's always peeking on me. Leah and I grew up in the same room. Like, we shared a room growing up for the most part, and like nothing was ever really private. I don't know, we pretty much share everything. Like,
yeah. Also, like, we both have completely separate like parts of the house. Like, I'm upstairs, she's down here, so like if I want my space, I'll just go up to my room. If she wants her space, she'll just go to her room. Like,
yeah. Also, like, my husband's just not really home, so even when Nathan wasn't deployed, he was always on workups or like having to stay on the ship. So I don't know, it's like a girl house, you know? Like, we have 2 little boys, but it's girls running this place. How many sisters do you have? There's 5 of us total.
I hate being a baby sometimes.
It's so hard being you, huh?
It is.
Are you 2 sisters that avoid conflict with each other, or tell it like it is, or fight it out?
I feel like we just tell it like it is.
I feel like we tell, but like there's not really much to tell. But
like she said, if there ever is anything, we just say something, or
yeah, like it's just not a big deal. Like, I feel like base level of who we are is very respectful to each other and where each of us are in life. Like, Leah's not living the same life I am, and I'm not living the same life she is. So like, we're very receptive and understanding of that. And if there ever is conflict, like, we're like, hey, don't do that, or it's just not a big deal, you know? Like, there's not a whole lot to fight about. Someone said, how did you work out the nanny part and logistics while also being sisters? So that was when Leah first moved in, and since she was my nanny, she didn't have a job, even though she was my part-time nanny. I think you babysat for them like 3 days a week was our routine.
yeah.
And then like here and there, if like I had like an appointment or something.
Yeah.
But I do feel like, I don't know, we had a schedule and we stuck to it. And if Leah wanted to travel, I wanted that for her. So we just rearranged our schedules and we made it work. Yeah. She's no longer babysitting them on that schedule because she's in and out so much traveling. Phasing out of that was hard, I think, because we had gotten in a routine, but also like when Leah moved in, we had conversations about how this is going to evolve and change. And I know you don't want to be their nanny forever. So whenever you don't want to babysit them on that schedule anymore, just tell me and we'll have a conversation, and we figured it out. So I think just an open line of communication is the most critical part. Someone said, how do you split house chores? Like I said, Leah's not really here, and like the stuff that I do for the house is stuff I would do regardless of if she was here or not. So she just takes care of the cats, and she's also really good about like, if I'm just like having a day and like I need to just not scrub the house down because I'm so tired, if she's here, she'll usually pick up that slack because she knows like I need rest or I just need a break, and she'll help clean the house. But like, it's not necessarily her responsibility, it's just something she does. And I think that's a huge part of like having a relationship where you understand each other's needs and like just helping where you can, you know?
Yeah. I'm her sister husband.
Matcha is so good.
Yeah,
okay, someone asked, what's your sister's plan? What does she want for herself in the future?
So once I eventually move away from her, which like I always plan to stay like close. She can't get away from me. But I eventually want to like invest in rental properties, hopefully have a family one day, get married. I don't know, I want the typical lifestyle. Like, I want just a simple life. I definitely do want kids. I want a little family.
But also like, you want to do wildlife stuff too.
Oh yeah. I'm actually planning to go to Costa Rica for a few weeks, and I'm going to work on a wildlife sanctuary and get a lot of experience and see if it's something that I really want to do, because I've always like been very passionate about wildlife. I've rescued and raised multiple raccoons. It's just something that I love to do. I've always loved it.
That's going to be so good for you.
I know.
That's going to be the best experience for you.
But eventually I want a wildlife sanctuary on my property so I can just walk out and feed my animals, play with them, do whatever. But long term, that's kind of like
what the goal
goals.
is.
Yeah.
That kind of goes with this question. Someone asked, what does Leah want want to do in her future, maybe just content creating, staying with you. So yeah, you do content creation.
Yeah.
That pays the bills, and then it leaves you time to like give back and like go do the wildlife stuff and experience life.
Yeah, which I'm actually so excited to like share like my wildlife with y'all because I think it's gonna be so fun, and like I would want to see it.
No, that's gonna be so funny.
So
I can't wait.
I'm
Monkey.
I literally have this picture. Hold on, pull it up.
I know, pull that up. Somebody asked, did you really cut her umbilical cord? Yeah, I did. We actually just recently went through my mom's like huge box of pictures and we found the proof. That's it.
There's Morgan, and then there's my mom, and there's me, and she's cutting my umbilical cord.
I told you guys, go to the one where like my mom's exhausted after literally just giving birth. And I'm like, can I have my baby now?
I was just pushed out and Morgan was already there. Gimme.
I know, like, can I have that baby, Mom?
There were so many
cute.
people in the room.
I know.
How did she
know.
do
But yeah, I did cut her umbilical cord. Good times. That was actually a core memory. One of my earliest memories.
Really? You remember
I can
that?
remember it. I think I was like, I was 6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
I vaguely remember it.
I was like your first little baby that you comprehended, like
squishy
a little baby.
It was, yeah.
Like I was your baby.
Yeah.
Because
I was
still
6.
her baby. I live in her house.
Someone asked, do you ever get sick of each other? I feel like if you get sick of me, you just go to your room. And if you're sick of me, I'm probably sick of you. But no, in the real world, like...
I don't... Like, I'm a very chill person. Like, we're both very just chill and, like...
Yeah.
We're not up each other's booties, like...
No
I feel
booty
like,
jumping.
Like, I don't know. We mind our own business when we need to.
We need to.
Like, I just don't feel like we get sick of each other. I don't get sick of her, but I can't speak for her.
Oh, I don't get sick of you. I mean, you've also been gone so much.
Yeah, that is true.
These
I
last
am
couple of
gone
months.
a lot.
So like whenever you're home, I'm just really happy that you're here.
So maybe I just don't have time to get sick of
I think that's probably true, honestly.
Maybe.
Rookie Cookie asked, how do you balance letting her make her own decisions with guiding her into her adult life? That's actually a really good question because I know when Leah moved in, like I wanted to teach her how to be responsible and like make good choices, but I also wanted her to have the freedom to make mistakes and then we can talk about it. I feel like we just have such an open relationship where like we just talk about everything that I will always give Leah my advice and like tell her what I think is best in the situation, and she's free to make her own decisions. At the end of the day, she's 19. I'm not her mom. I'm not going to tell her what to do, but I will give her advice and hope that she makes the right decisions. And also she's a very, very responsible 19-year-old. So
I really am.
You're so responsible. So like I really don't have to worry about much. And like if you do something stupid, like you usually know it was dumb and like
I'll come home from like a trip and I'm like, Morgan,
I did something
stupid. Like I always know whenever I do something dumb.
We usually laugh about it, but also like being like a big sister, I do get nervous that like she'll do things that hurt herself, but at the end of the day, it's not my place to shut it down. You know, like I'll give her my advice, I'll give her my opinion, but she has to do with that what
sometimes
she will.
I take it, sometimes I don't.
And sometimes she doesn't.
And then it nips me in the butt.
And here we are. So I think there's a balance, but like at the end of the day, I have to remember I'm not here to tell her what to do. I'm here to help guide her in the right direction. Should I swipe?
That's funny.
Somebody asked, did you approve of Leah and BJ dating when they did? My first recommendation was to wait. Just because like jumping into things really fast is usually not the best decision, but also like there was a lot of like green flags.
He was very
reasons.
sweet.
BJ's such a sweetheart and like we wish him the best. I think anytime you rush into something, it's not gonna work out the way you want it to 9 times out of 10. So that was one of those situations where I said, this is what I recommend, but I support whatever you decide to do. And she decided to date him.
Also, the relationship only lasted like a week and a half, and then I was like,
Probably not the
can't.
right time.
I can't do this. Not the right timing. I don't want a boyfriend right now.
Yeah.
Like,
you guys were better as friends.
yeah, no, for sure. Ultimately, dating was not it for us.
Yeah. Just wasn't meant to be.
Yeah.
And that's okay. Bianca asked, do you think it was the best decision for the both of you to live together? Hands down, I think yes.
1000% yes.
I think it was so good for both of us.
I think Morgan needed support here in Virginia, and I needed to get my life moving along. I needed to get out of my parents' house and grow as a person. And I think moving in with Morgan definitely helped us out tremendously, both of us.
Yeah, I think it was very good for both of us, and I have no regrets. And like, I would do the same thing over again. It's, especially with how we did it. Like, you moved in and you helped so much with the boys for like, I think like almost 10 months.
It was a whole year.
It was a full year.
Mm-hmm.
For a full year, like, you helped me so much with the boys. And when Leah moved in too, I was in such a bad mental state because I was by myself with the twins all day, and I was just very lonely. We had just moved to Virginia. Nathan was working all the time, and I really needed someone to talk to and like go out and explore life with. So I think a lot of people get the impression that Leah and I run the household together and we're raising the twins together, which like, that's not the case. But she comes here and it's like a huge weight off my shoulder. Her being here has just made my life so much better too, because we're able to go on trips and like I'm able to enjoy the boys a lot more.
Actually, that is
Leah's just a huge support.
Yeah.
Whenever like I feel like I'm like in the dirt, she's there to help like pick up the pieces a little, you know, but it's not like a daily thing where she's getting them up and making them breakfast. It's more so just support when I need it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I can usually like sense whenever like Morgan's like really overwhelmed, so that's when I'll like step in and take the boys away from her and like, oh, let's go for a walk or clean up the house.
Yeah, so even though Leah's not at the house every day or every week, my quality of life is significantly better. I guess this is a question from someone who hasn't been around our channel for a long time, because they asked, what's our age difference? Does she work? How long have you lived together? So I think it's been like a year and 3 months now.
Yeah.
A year and 3 months.
Yeah.
We've been living together for a year and 3 months. Does your other sister get jealous? I guess they're talking about Victoria. Vic, sister Vic.
I think Victoria has really bad FOMO sometimes, like fear of missing out. So she'll see us like together doing something fun and she's like, oh, I wish I was there. But
I don't think it's jealousy.
I don't think it's jealousy.
I think she's very happy that we both had each other in this season of life. We have very supportive sisters. So like, I don't think Victoria, any of it is rooted in jealousy. I think she just like has FOMO, but we all do. Like whenever Leah and Vic go off and do something, I'm like, oh man.
Or like if the sisters that are still living in Texas do something, I get so like sad. Like,
it's FOMO. We don't do well missing out.
No,
I love to be a part of everything.
Like when the family gets together and we can't be there, I get sad. Do you get sad?
No, I get sad.
I get so sad.
Like, this is me and Leah.
I just feel like we're very family oriented people, and when we can't like be with them.
Yeah,
it
sucks.
Very sad.
So I think that's the same for Vic. Like, we do as much as we can with all three of us, but like at the end of the day, we live in completely different states, so there's just FOMO. That's the best way to put it. Do you think Leah should stay in Virginia when she decides to move out? No. We're all leaving.
We're all leaving Virginia.
We're all leaving. We kind of have plans now, but like I don't want to share anything until it's official. But no, we all have to go.
We all have to get out of here.
Go. Not that Virginia hasn't been great.
No.
I actually really like it here, and if all of our family lived here, I would be so chill with staying.
Yeah.
But no, we have plans to leave.
Oh gosh.
What's the dumbest thing y'all have fought over since living in Virginia? The boxes.
Cardboard boxes.
It was the boxes.
Literally cardboard boxes.
It was the boxes. You guys, this was like the biggest fight I think we've ever had.
The biggest fight.
Like, and I think we just caught each other at the worst time because we had a giant pile of boxes. And the majority of them were mine. But Leah also had like a vacuum box from a campaign she did and a vacuum in there that like broke down.
I had like 3 boxes.
Yeah, she didn't have a lot of boxes, but like she was running out the door one time and I was like, hey Leah, since some of these boxes are yours, would you mind helping me load your boxes into the back of the truck so Nathan and I can take them to the recycling part of the dump. And she was like, well, you can tell them.
Okay, so
your point of view. I asked if she could help load her boxes, and she was like, I ain't got any.
I was walking out the door, right? And normally, like,
it was bad timing.
I do not mind helping. Like, even if they weren't my boxes, she could have been like, oh, hey, I have some boxes. Can you help me? And I've been like, sure, right? And I don't know. I guess we were both just in a particular mood that day.
I didn't like looking at all the boxes.
it was a lot of boxes.
It was a lot of boxes.
A lot of boxes. And I was walking out the door with my friend, and she goes, hey, like, so can we, like, before you go, can we get rid of these boxes? Like, I know a lot of it's mine, but a lot of it's yours. Whenever I had only, like, 3 boxes, and I was like, I only have 3 boxes. Like, I got super defensive and, like, annoyed about it. She goes, there's also stuff in the garage that's yours if you could take care of. And so I got so petty. I went to the garage slamming stuff around. I picked all my stuff up. I was throwing it into my car, like being so petty about it. And she was like, you don't have to do that like that.
No, she was stuffing it into her trunk. And I was like, Leah,
my
all
trunk
you have to do
overflowing, and I was slamming it shut.
I was like, all you have to do is put the boxes in the back of Nathan's truck and we will take care of them for you. And she was like, no. I'm gonna try to shut the truck.
I don't know why. I got so
whatever, girl. You do what you have to do.
And then I got in my car, and I think she like called me or something, and she was like, your vacuum's still in the house. And I said, yeah, I'm coming around to the front to get it right now.
You were not coming around.
No, I came around to the front, and I went to go grab my vacuum, and she was like, good, I want that thing out of here.
The vacuum was broken, and it had been in my office for like 2 months.
Everyone was just being, like, we were both so petty about it. So, like, we were in a mood.
We're just in a bad mood.
And so...
That's the worst fight we've ever had. We were both so mad. And I was like, why can't she just, like, load her freaking boxes into the car? Why is it the end of the world? And she was like, how dare she ask me to load my boxes into the back of the truck? I'm going to put them in my trunk and carry them around.
Stupid.
No, it was so dumb. It was so dumb.
After I left, we both sent text to each other that was, like, that long.
A novel. A novel. But like we were telling each other how we felt. Like I said, you really hurt my feelings whenever you disregarded the fact that I needed you to load your boxes. And she was like, well, you really hurt my feelings when you asked me to load your boxes.
The stupidest fight.
No, it was so dumb. Like if that doesn't give you guys context on like how little we fight and like what our big fights are about, like we just really don't have anything to fight about. I think we were both PMSing and like,
yeah,
it was just a bad time.
It was a bad mix.
Yeah, that was the worst fight we ever had. Pretty silly. Leah still be living with you once your husband is out of the military. Probably for a little bit.
Yeah.
It just depends on like how our plans pan out.
Yeah.
And like even when we move, if you stayed with us for a little while you figured out details, that's fine too.
Yeah. I'm for sure moving when they move, but I might move before a month or two, like before Nathan gets out. I'm not sure, but we're all moving around the same time.
Into
I
the
know
same
that.
place.
Yeah.
That's the plan.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're not really sure how all that's going to pan out, but when he gets out, we have plans to move and it's kind of going to be a fresh start for everyone. So we'll see. How did your family react? I'm assuming they're talking about whenever we moved in together.
I'm trying to think.
I think it was like, I don't know, I feel like everyone was pretty supportive.
I think everyone knew I needed to leave.
Yeah.
The whole family knew I needed to get away and get my life going.
Mm-hmm.
So the day before I left, my family threw me a going away party. Like, everyone was very supportive of me leaving. Some of them gave me like gas money to get there. Like, everyone was very supportive and they knew I needed to get out.
Yeah, she needed to be in a different scene.
Yeah.
Do you share things with each other?
I tell Morgan too much. I tell her everything.
I know, you really do. I tell you pretty much everything too.
Yeah.
We're pretty much open books with each other. There's no point in like keeping secrets. Somebody asked, why did you choose Leah to accompany you? And it wasn't necessarily like...
You picked me specifically.
Yeah. I just kind of always had an open door, and I told all my sisters, like, if you want to live with me while Nathan is gone, like, I would love that. And no one ever really took me up on it until Leah called one day.
One day I was going through it. I had a rough year. Like, I was over it. I didn't want to be there anymore. And I called Morgan, and I'm pretty sure I was like crying or something. I was not okay.
You were really upset.
I was so upset. And I was like, I just can't do this anymore. I don't like it here. I need to get away. Like, this guy won't leave me alone. Like, it was a mess. But Morgan was like, move to Virginia right now. Like, pack your bags and come live with me. Like, there's nothing there for you here. Let's build a life here together.
I was like, I'll get your room ready.
She was literally like, I'm working on your room right now as we speak. Come on, let's move in. And so I was like, I can't do that. Like, I have a job. And she was like, where's that job going to take you? I was working at a coffee shop. She was like, where's that job going to take you? Come on, just put your 2 weeks in and move in with me. And so I was like, okay. 2 days later, I put my 2 weeks in.
Literally 2 days later. You were so serious.
I was so serious about it. I wanted to leave. I put my 2 weeks in and I was gone.
It all happened really fast.
Yeah, it did.
Somebody asked, does your husband mind having your sister live with you guys? No, not at all. Like, Nathan is gone so much that he loves the peace of mind of knowing that Leah is here for me. And like, at the end of the day, like, I have her. If I'm like in a bad place or like doing bad mentally, like, he's very, very happy that she's here. I think he was really happy whenever Leah decided to move in with me because he wanted me to have someone.
2 weeks ago, he messaged me and he was like, hey, Morgan's having a really rough day. Can you go make her cookies and give her a hug for me? And I wasn't in Virginia. I was in Texas. And so I was like, oh, only if I was in town. But like, he's very sweet. And I think knowing that I'm here definitely helps him.
Yeah, I think it helps him. Yeah, that's a good point. It helps him like have less to worry about. This is a really good question. Somebody asked, do you think there was anything your parents did / didn't do that affected your relationship with each other? I think the biggest thing was that we came from such a big family. We were not necessarily super close to our parents.
Yeah.
But like, we were very close to each other.
Yeah, like, our parents never really had one-on-one time with the kids because there were so many. So we all like gave each other that like...
Yeah, like me moving in with my older sister,
Yeah.
she kind of felt like a mother figure to me because she was 9 years older, you know? So like, when I was moving out of the house, she was already established. So I think we really just like took care of each other.
Yeah.
Made sure, like, when we were leaving the house, I would make sure Leah had her shoes on, or like my older sister would do my hair. So like, we really had to take care of each other.
It was almost like a buddy system, kind of. Like,
yeah.
The older looked out for like the younger kids and like kept up with them, kind of.
Yeah, and like, if anyone picked on any of us, we were the first to know about it. And we weren't happy about it.
No.
We didn't like that. So I definitely think that because we came from such a big family and our parents did the best they could, making sure everyone was fed and kept alive, and we were kind of taking care of each other's emotional needs, I feel like. So I think that played a huge part into it. Definitely, especially for how close we are, because we're close to all of our siblings. Ask each other, what's the best thing about living together? For me, it's the company, because I love people and I don't like being alone. So I love that part. I also love getting to know about your life, because I feel like if you were in Texas, we wouldn't be, we obviously wouldn't be as close, and like I wouldn't know as much about your life.
No.
So I love when you come home and I get to hear all about it, because that would not be the case.
I always have stories.
Like, we would call, but it just wouldn't be the same.
No, it wouldn't. I'd say having freedom, but also having like someone to live with.
Like a fallback structure.
Yes, like I have my freedom, but also I could not be alone. Like, I have to have someone with me. I wouldn't say I'm a codependent person, but growing up in a big family, like,
it makes you that way.
People. So like, when I'm alone, I go crazy. Like, I have to have someone with me. So I have my freedom, but I also have my like support and like
social
person.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'd say that's the best part about it.
It works out. I like it. Wait, I think that was the last question.
That was all the questions? That was a lot of questions.
That was a lot of questions. I didn't realize that was going to be the last one. So yeah, I guess that was the last question. That was a lot of questions. There were definitely more, but I didn't think we would even have enough time to get through all of those. So I just screenshotted the ones that were asked the most. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this Q&A. I know it was fun for us to make. We had some little giggles. I think we covered everything. There's definitely a lot coming up in the next few months that's going to take place, hopefully. Like I said, nothing is official yet, which is why we're not sharing specific details, but we're excited. And this has definitely been a very fun season in our life, and one we definitely will not forget.
I'm gonna be sad when it ends. Like when we leave Virginia, I'm gonna be so sad.
I know. Leaving this house, it's gonna be really sad.
It's gonna be really sad.
I'll probably cry.
I will definitely cry.
It'll be sad, but that also just means a new chapter's opening.
Yeah.
And we'll be living in the same town, which will be exciting. But thank you guys so much for tuning in to this video, and I will see you guys next week with a super fun announcement, because Leah and I are, well, I'll just tell you guys now. I'll tell you now. We're leaving. We're leaving.
We're moving out.
We're moving out temporarily for the holidays and to be with family. So I have a video coming out next week that goes more into depth about all of that. But yeah, we're super excited, and I will see you guys next week. Okay, wait, we need to get a cover shot.